Every gardener who has worked in clay knows the struggle, you know. The soil bakes into brick-hard slabs in the sun, becomes sticky and waterlogged in the rain, and, well, it just resists roots at every turn. Fertilizer often leaches away or simply never penetrates, leaving crops stunted and beds lifeless. Trying to dig, till or amend clay soil the hard way often leaves gardeners exhausted before the planting even begins. But there is a shortcut that doesn't involve breaking your back. Believe me. A lazy material most people throw away, plain cardboard, has the power to summon fungi, transform the soil structure, and set clay on the path to becoming friable, fertile earth far faster than traditional methods. The secret is cardboard's fungal invitation. Cardboard is made from wood pulp, which means it is primarily carbon. It is lignin and cellulose bound into flat sheets. While bacteria break down kitchen scraps and green waste quickly, fungi are the masters at unlocking carbon-rich materials like cardboard. When laid over clay soil, cardboard creates a moist, shaded and fungal-friendly environment. Hyphae, the white threads of fungi, rapidly colonize the cardboard, weaving through its fibers and spreading into the clay beneath. This is exactly the partnership clay needs. Fungal threads don't just feed on the cardboard. They physically penetrate compacted soil, opening microscopic channels that let in air and water. Over weeks and months, the cardboard vanishes, but in its place is a living fungal network that continues improving the soil long after the material is gone. How cardboard works differently from compost or mulch. Compost delivers nutrients, and wood chips provide long-term carbon, but cardboard sits uniquely between them. Unlike mulch, which decomposes from the top down, cardboard forms a sheet that keeps clay shaded and consistently damp underneath. This moisture stability is critical because fungi thrive in slightly damp, protected zones. Unlike compost, which often just leaches right through clay without really fixing its structure, cardboard actually feeds the soil fungi first. Once those fungi arrive, they act as soil engineers, loosening up the clay and preparing it to hold organic matter much more effectively. This, honestly, makes cardboard one of the simplest entry points for transforming stubborn ground into fertile beds. So, how do you apply cardboard to clay soil for maximum fungal growth? Well, the process starts by collecting plain brown cardboard. Nothing with glossy coatings, heavy dyes, or plastic tape, if you can help it. Large sheets from boxes are ideal, but if you've only got smaller pieces, you can just overlap them. Lay the cardboard directly over the clay, making sure you've got an overlap of at least 6 inches, so weeds don't sneak through. Then, water the cardboard thoroughly until it's good and saturated. Dry sheets will resist fungi, but once you dampen the cardboard, it becomes hospitable almost instantly. On top of this, spread a layer of organic material. Things like grass clippings, shredded leaves, straw, or even unfinished compost if that's what you've got. The ratio is simple. 1 sheet of cardboard followed by 2 to 3 inches of organic cover. This layer feeds the fungi as they break through the cardboard, and it also helps stop the sheets from drying out. For example, in a 10 by 10 foot plot of compacted clay, you'd want to use, say, 5 to 6 large flattened boxes, overlapped and soaked, to cover the surface. Adding about 6 wheelbarrows of leaves or clippings over the top creates the perfect fungal bed. Within weeks, if you lift the mulch, you'll spot these fuzzy white mycelium threads weaving through the cardboard and clay. That is honestly the living proof that the soil is being restructured from the inside out. Now, why are fungi the missing link for clay improvement? Well, clay particles are incredibly fine and tend to pack tightly together. This means they hold water, but also, unfortunately, prevent air circulation, which leads to compaction. While sand and organic matter can help a bit, it's fungi that create the true breakthrough. The hyphae not only thread between particles, but they also release glues and acids that bind clay into aggregates, crumbs of soil that balance air, water and stability. These aggregates, by the way, are what gardeners recognise as friable soil. Cardboard really accelerates the fungal takeover by providing both food and habitat right at the soil's surface, exactly where it's most needed. Now, you might be wondering just how long it actually takes to see results with the cardboard method. Gardeners, often expect to wait years to rehabilitate clay soil. But honestly, the cardboard trick compresses this timeline significantly. Within about 2 months of laying soaked cardboard topped with mulch, you'll start seeing the first signs of fungal colonies. Then, after 3 to 6 months, the upper layer of clay will begin to crumble instead of clump, and you'll notice earthworms showing up in greater numbers. By the 1-year mark, the sheet will have mostly decomposed, leaving behind an enriched, structured soil that really no longer resembles the lifeless clay it once was. If you compare this to years of slow amendments with compost alone, well, it becomes clear why cardboard is such a powerful accelerator. Combining cardboard with targeted organic inputs can, speed up the transformation even more. Adding nitrogen-rich greens like fresh grass clippings or even diluted urine right on top of the cardboard introduces balance, making sure that high-carbon sheet doesn't tie up nitrogen completely. A useful ratio is about 5 parts cardboard to 1 part fresh green material layered above. Another handy approach is to sprinkle a dusting of finished compost or soil from a healthy garden before covering with mulch. So, for a vegetable bed, the process can be as straightforward as laying cardboard over the unworked clay, topping it off with about 3 inches of composted manure or leaf mould, and then, planting directly into that top layer the following season. The roots will actually follow the fungal threads into the clay, encountering loosened aggregates, instead of those dense clods we all dread. Now, in orchard or vineyard settings, strips of cardboard laid along the rows and covered with straw not only summon fungi, but also suppress weeds while conserving moisture. Now, why is this method truly the lazy gardener's secret? Well, let me tell you, the word lazy isn't an insult here. It's actually a strength. Instead of spending exhausting hours with a spade or a rototiller, this approach lets fungi and all that soil life take over the hard labour. Cardboard, you see, requires no chopping, no fiddly layering of browns and greens, and no turning of piles. Once it's laid down and watered, it's, largely self-sustaining. Honestly, the most demanding bit is just collecting enough boxes. From then on, your job is simply to observe as the soil transforms, season by season. There are very few other methods that give you such a powerful soil change for so little effort. The transformation from clay to living soil is, believe it or not, within reach. Clay soil doesn't have to stay the enemy of gardeners. By giving fungi a simple invitation in the form of cardboard, you can shift the entire soil ecosystem. Roots grow deeper, crops thrive longer, and, irrigation becomes easier because the soil actually holds and releases water the way it should. The cardboard itself, it vanishes, but what remains is a network of fungal allies turning stubborn ground into living, breathing soil. So, if heavy clay has been holding back your gardening success, just try this cardboard trick and see for yourself how quickly fungi step in to do the work. The results are lasting, natural, and honestly surprisingly fast compared to all that back-breaking traditional digging. For more proven soil-building strategies and lazy gardener shortcuts that really work, make sure you subscribe to Soil and Plant Doctor and share this guide with fellow growers who are ready to turn their toughest ground into thriving soil.